is no replacement for Harry Smith, NBC News, New York.
If those cars could talk. That's Nightly News for this Wednesday. Thanks for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
You never know what's going to happen.
Your top two go to the finals.
You are the greatest of all time.
You're going to be a superstar.
Everything here is American made.
But it's tough competing with China.
Ron Johnson's making it tougher. Johnson pushed for special tax breaks for outsourcing corporations.
But voted against tariffs and sanctions on China's unfair trade practices.
And when Johnson's big corporate PAC donor announced plans to create jobs outside Wisconsin, he defended them.
It's not like we don't have enough jobs here in Wisconsin. The biggest problem.
Senator Johnson, stop making it tougher on us.
Weather Watch 12. Weather from where you live.
Straight ahead, Senator Tammy Baldwin is looking to fill gaps in the trucking industry, what she is working on to fill the shortage.
Plus, Wisconsin's Department of Health Services is cracking down on fentanyl, how they're raising awareness about the dangerous painkiller.
And Hodag Park upgrades are one step closer to completion. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
Your local news and weather from where you live. News Watch 12 at 6 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 5. I'm Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jessica Jukic. The trucking industry is dominated by men, but one Wisconsin senator is looking to bring more women into the field.
Senator Tammy Baldwin stopped by Carl's Transport in Antigo today to learn what the business is doing to diversify their drivers. Baldwin heard from leaders at the Carl's Transport Driver Training School about how they are working to recruit more women to their workforce. Last year, Baldwin introduced legislation to establish a Women of Trucking Advisory Board, which passed, being signed by President Joe Biden. Her hope is to get more women interested in trucking, saying work has already begun to bring more women into the industry.
We have a group that is getting together in the Department of Transportation in Washington, studying what the barriers are to women being in trucking.
According to Baldwin, the advisory group is in the early stages of gathering their findings. However, she says once finished, the group will be able to provide their findings to companies like Carl's.
We hope that that will inform transportation policy, but that will also be a very useful product for private trucking companies.
She would go on to say that government also will likely use that data for other sectors of the economy that women are underrepresented in. Leaders within Carl's Transport have worked to recruit more women to become truckers, with a growing percentage of their workforce being around 20% women. Well, can't complain about today. Warm and sunny outside.
Chief Meteorologist Jeff Willer joins us now. Jeff.
Yeah, hey guys, high temperatures back up in the 70s to low 80s again today, but now the clouds are rolling back in, and it's a sign of what's to come as we have several days of rain showers now back in the forecast. Right now, temperature-wise, though, 75 here in Rhinelander, 75 also for Antigo, 77 for Leona, a couple of 80s across central Wisconsin right now. That will not be the case tomorrow, as some rain-cooled air is on the way for tomorrow and for Friday and for Saturday. Looking outside right now, we have lots of dry air right across parts of north central Wisconsin. That is keeping all the showers back off to the west of us for now. This will begin to give way, though. We'll get a couple of showers here after midnight, and then off and on rain showers tomorrow and for Friday as well, as there's quite a system over here forming that's going to sit and spin over us for a couple of days. That will keep the chance for rain in the forecast into the weekend. It won't be an all-day rain, any dry hours as well, but we're going to get wet around here tomorrow, also for Friday, Saturday, and probably Sunday. Our forecast, though, tonight, though, is mostly cloudy skies with temperatures hanging out in the near 56. Your full forecast is coming up. Dan?
The Wisconsin election investigation may be over, but taxpayers could be on the hook for legal fees for additional lawsuits. There are currently 6 pending lawsuits related to Michael Gableman's election probe. The majority of the cases are in regards to how Gableman and his office handled open records requests. The lawsuits continue to rack up as legal fees have surpassed $1.1 million so far for the former Wisconsin justice. Assembly Speaker Robin Voss fired Gableman last week, putting an end to a 14-month taxpayer review that failed to produce any evidence of widespread voter fraud in the 2020 election.
The Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest has appointed a new supervisor. The USDA Forest Service Eastern Regional Forester selected Jen Youngblood as a forest supervisor. She has more than 30 years' experience developing and managing programs ranging from tribal nations, working in healthcare and land management. Youngblood plans on sustaining the nation's forests and grasslands for future generations. She's replacing Paul Strong, who had been forest supervisor since July 2010. Youngblood would take over the role on September 26th.
A Wisconsin woman is upset she's being forced to leave her home, especially after upgrading the kitchen. Jennifer Wickland owns a trailer at Country Acres Mobile Home Park in Parkland, that's near Superior. But it will only be her home for a few more days. She's moving because Douglas County recently took ownership of Country Acres, and they're closing it down. The county says the previous owner of the mobile home park didn't pay property taxes and created unsafe living conditions for some residents. Wickland says she found out in June that she'd have to be out by August 1st. The county extended that to August 15th, but she's still in the process of securing housing.
Had to ask the county clerk for more time because the place that I'm going to move into isn't ready yet for me.
While she's now found a new place to live, she can't move in until at least next month, so she's staying put for the time being. Douglas County, Wisconsin officials say they are hoping to avoid evicting people and ask that any residents who are still trying to secure housing to get in touch with them.
Wisconsin's Department of Health Services issued a public health warning for fentanyl. Just last year, fentanyl was identified in around 90% of opioid overdose deaths in Wisconsin. State epidemiologist Dr. Jasmine Zapata spoke today about how hard it is to detect fentanyl. Even just one pill can be deadly.
The story that one mother shared was just so heartbreaking, sharing how her own son, who was in a college campus, thought he was taking a Percocet pill, and it ended up being a fake pill, and it was filled with fentanyl, and he died in front of his friends.
Fentanyl is up to 50 times stronger than heroin. Because it's so strong and so cheap to produce, people who manufacture illegal drugs use fentanyl to make other drugs more powerful and less expensive to make.
Fentanyl is very hard to detect, so it can't be smelled, tasted, or even seen, and that makes it easy for it to be placed in other types of drugs without a user's knowledge. And this is something very important that we want our statewide community to be aware of.
Dr. Zapata recommends people visit the Dose of Reality website. There you can get information about fentanyl and learn the signs of an overdose.
Hodag Park in Rhinelander is nearly finished with a new addition to the grounds. Rhinelander Mayor Chris Hannes says about $400,000 has gone into the new amphitheater. A lot of that money was raised through donation. This is part of a larger beautification initiative for Hodag Park.
Community groups could hold bigger events there. So if we wanted to do some kind of karaoke night there, or if we wanted to do, have a classical band there, that's something a community group could do, and then, just bring people to that great park.
And while one project comes to an end, another one is just starting up. Timber Drive began its construction project Monday as part of a two-phase plan. This project looks to modernize the road system and utilities from Stevens Street to Highway 17.
I mean, at the end of the day, I want to see Rhinelander succeed, and I want to drive down the road and not lose a tire. So it's going to take a couple of years to get there, but once we do, it's just going to make the community better.
The first part of this project will redo the road from Stevens through Coolidge. Next year, the second phase will finish the road with the addition of new bike paths and sidewalks. Construction for the year should be wrapped up by mid-October. Natural gas is at a record high. What's to blame for the surge in prices?
And a popular festival is bringing Eagle River back to its roots. That's After Weather with Jeff right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
It's Slumberland's anniversary sale, and to celebrate, we're stacking the deals. Buy any sofa or sectional and get 20% off your second purchase. Now for the stacking, get another 20% off both items.
20 plus another 20?
Yep, and there's more. Buy any recliner or accent chair and get 20% off your second purchase. And stack an additional 20% off both items.
Discounts? On top of discounts?
Plus, we are still offering great special financing at Slumberland Furniture.
Let's try. Everybody has more used trucks all on one lot, all priced to move. So when you're ready to buy your next truck, know that all Lenz trucks are fully inspected, certified clean, and can be bought hassle-free online. Go now to lenztruck.com. You'll find over 800 used trucks, all priced to move.
We got the trucks at Lenz Truck.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead costs.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
The kitchen remodel project was a major project. After checking around, we went to Featherstone, and we were so glad we did. There was electrical work, plumbing, enlarging a doorway, and of course, all the cabinets, countertops, and fixtures. The minute I walked in the door at Featherstone, I knew I was in the right place. Featherstone coordinated every aspect of the project, the whole thing. They made it easy. And I can't say enough about how much we appreciated the personal attention Featherstone gave us.
I'm Mandela Barnes. People like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, they're bringing big, bold ideas to Capitol Hill.
Radical ideas funded by the taxpayers.
Free public higher education. We need an immigration system that says that no human being is illegal. We can start by making sure that immigrants have access to driver's licenses and in-state college tuition.
And guess who's going to pay for all that? Wisconsin Truth Pack is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
There you are. Okay, this thing passed some gas on Monday. That energy gets here tonight, and that could give us a good sign for some northern lights. However, we have a couple issues as clouds are rolling into the area right now, and that could obscure our view of the lights tonight. But overall, it could be here tomorrow as well. Out there today, lots of sunshine across our region. Then the clouds are rolling back in, and you know what that means? We have a long duration kind of cloudy, rainy event on the way that will hold temperatures a bit cooler tomorrow back in the mid-70s. Right now, though, we're at 75 in Rhinelander, a west wind around 8, and the pressure there is falling at 30.12. Over in Wausau, 79 for you. It was 80 last hour. Southwest breeze around 6, and the dew point there at 55. Some dry air is still locked in place across all of north central Wisconsin. All right, so temperature-wise, hanging out in the 70s to low 80s. It's still 80 in Point right now. So temperatures did what they were supposed to do today, but tomorrow's going to be a bit cooler as we have some clouds and rainfall on the way. 76 is the forecast high tomorrow and for Friday. Then we're hanging out near the averages, right? The average high being 77, 78. We'll do that a couple days in the next 7 to 10 days around here. Overall, near average temperatures are on the way into the weekend and beyond. Also on the way, some rain showers. Now, it's not going to be an all-day rain tomorrow or Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but it will rain with many dry hours in there as well. As a system is kind of gaining strength now across the west, that's going to bring us some rainfall. But for now, currently, some really dry air locked across north central Wisconsin is keeping all of this at bay. It will, though, give way as the atmosphere kind of moistens up tonight. That will produce more cloud cover, obscure the northern lights, and give us a good chance for some rain showers later on tonight and then off and on throughout the day tomorrow as this very slow-moving system kind of moves our way. So system 1 continue right now. You can see you later. Behind it, though, here's that guy. See it spinning right there? That's going to take its time, an upper level low. They do whatever they want and kind of cause us grief, right? That's going to hold our temperatures back just a bit tomorrow and give us an almost daily chance for some rain showers. Not an all-day rain, but rain showers in the forecast at any given time tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. Our forecast then for tomorrow, though, is scattered showers and a couple of thunder showers out there. High temperatures still okay, back in the mid-70s across the north. Further south, there might be an 80 in here, although that's probably going to be a stretch with those widely scattered showers and storms pretty much at any given time throughout the day tomorrow. For tonight, lots of clouds out there, a couple of storms as well, non-severe with low temperatures down near 56. There could be some dense fog in there after midnight. For tomorrow, okay, here we go. Scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms again. Many dry hours as well, but we're going to get wet tomorrow with a high temperature near 76 and a south southwest breeze around 5 to 10. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast. By Northwest Furniture and Mattress keeps that chance for rain and a couple of thunder showers in the forecast tomorrow and for Friday and for Saturday into Sunday morning. But then it gets good. Then it gets really good. Temperatures Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday back in the 70s. Dan and Jessica.
Thanks, Jeff. Costs are rising in some products more than others. The cost of natural gas in the U.S. is now at levels not seen in 14 years.
Wednesday natural gas futures were up about 70% since the end of June, and a staggering 525% higher since the COVID-19 pandemic began in 2020. Just Tuesday, natural gas futures surged 7%, hitting its highest closing price since 2008. Experts blame high demand for driving the spike in prices. Much of the country is turning on air conditioners to deal with the record high temperatures, and natural gas is still a leading fuel source for the electric grid. Don't expect the cooler temps in the fall and winter to mean a relief from the rising cost. Natural gas is also the most popular way to heat U.S. homes.
The popular Paul Bunyan Fest took place again this year in downtown Eagle River this morning and afternoon, bringing together vendors and small businesses to show the Northwoods what it has to offer. Each year, the Eagle River Chamber of Commerce holds the event alongside groups like the VFW, which serves an old-style camp lunch to give the atmosphere of a logging town.
This is just a great way for us to bring people downtown because they shop through the arts and crafts that we have in the street, but they also go into many of the businesses downtown.
A big part of Paul Bunyan Fest is, of course, reminding people of the Northwoods logging history. This includes everything from the Pinery Boys singing logging-era music to chainsaw carving demonstrations. Williams says this is all a part of making Eagle River an attractive town to live and relax in.
We do have another event this weekend, actually, for the National Championship Muskie Open. Following that, we have the Eagle River Car and Truck Show, so there's just a lot more events coming up throughout the year.
She says to find more information about the many upcoming events in Eagle River, the Chamber invites you to check out their website, eagleriver.org. A man who is celebrating after reeling in a record-breaking sturgeon talked to a local news station will break down his experience when we come back.
Tired of Washington politicians not working for you? We've got a solution. With 3 easy payments of $1 million, Ron Johnson will work for you. Just ask these billionaires. They donated a fortune to Johnson, and he delivered a $215 million tax break for them. That's right, $215 million. Johnson even threw in a tax break for himself. Don't miss this opportunity. Call now. DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Goodwill starts with you when you shop Goodwill for back to school. Your support opens the door to new opportunities and creates possibilities for people with barriers to employment. Welcome in a new school year with Goodwill, where you'll find treasures and great deals on school, dorm essentials, and clothing for every style. You'll also keep items out of the landfill while supporting job training, financial coaching, and more. When you shop at and donate to Goodwill, you open doors to possibilities for neighbors in your community. Goodwill starts with you.
Sullivan's Log Home Restoration is your choice for log home maintenance, giving you a beautiful looking home. Sullivan's Log Home Restoration does their own milling and specializes in log replacements, sandblasting, pressure washing, painting and staining, and chinking. With more than 30 years of business, Sullivan's is dependable and trustworthy, carefully tending to every detail on your home. Call us today for your free on-site estimate. Sullivan's Log Home Restoration, serving Eagle River and the surrounding areas.
Oh, boy, would you look at that field goal he kicked right there? That looks fantastic. Boy, it looks like you need to stop at Tomahawk Furniture and Guns. Furniture and Guns? Now, they've got everything you need at great prices. Recliners, sofas, mattresses, and guns.
I'm Tim Michaels. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman who helped build a great Wisconsin company and created thousands of jobs. Tony Evers, Joe Biden, they're 2 peas in a pod. Both career politicians in way over their head, failing the country and the state of Wisconsin. That's why I'm running. We need to have strong, proven executive leadership in Madison that can get things done and make this state as great as it can be.
News Watch 12 is brought to you by Bone and Joint Walk-In Care.
A competition is looking for the coolest thing made in Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce is accepting applications for its 7th annual competition. The coolest thing made in Wisconsin accepts a variety of products to nominate, ranging from military vehicles to cheese and all-terrain vehicles. Applications are accepted until September 9th. WMC will then announce the top 16 products. Those products will be put in a bracket-style tournament called Manufacturing Madness. The winner will be announced on October 19th. Last year's winner was a 140-ton Navy crane from Broadwind Heavy Fabrications in Manitowoc. To nominate a product, go to WJFW.com.
A fishtail is like a tall tale, totally exaggerated. But every bit of this fishtail is true. And it's not just about any fish. We're talking about a record-setting fish. Like they say, pics or it didn't happen. Well, as Andrew Adams reports, it happened, and he's got the pictures to prove it.
Our family does a lot outdoors.
In a home that's no stranger to prized catches.
We're big bow hunters. We killed that elk a couple years ago with my bow.
One catch in particular is known for an extremely memorable tale.
It was way more than we expected, so.
Greg Polson says earlier this month, he and his wife took a fishing trip to Idaho.
It's a Snake River, but just up a little ways they've got it dammed off, so it's a CJ Strike reservoir.
They were on the hunt for sturgeon.
We were expecting like 5-6 footers or something like that.
When Greg found himself a handful.
It just feels like you're reeling a refrigerator up off the bottom of the river. As soon as we hooked it up and I started reeling it in, the sturgeon came up and it jumped out of the water, and it was like something off Shark Week. It was huge. Like, we were all just like, holy crap. And the guide started freaking out because he knew it was like a really big one.
It was a really big one.
Because it was 48 inches around, and how long it is, they got a pretty good idea how much they weigh, and he said it'd be somewhere around 600 pounds.
The fish was 10 feet 4 inches long, easily topping the Idaho State sturgeon record.
It was so big that 3 people was holding the bottom jaw, just on those 3 hands on the bottom jaw, so it was huge.
The sturgeon had to be released after it was caught, meaning it will never adorn the walls of Polson's home.
Usually I catch the littlest fish out of everybody, so I got really lucky this time.
He's just grateful for an unforgettable tale.
It was up there for sure.
A real-life fish tale that will be hard to top over time.
This was by far the best fishing experience I've ever had, not even close.
So when you do...
We'll be right back with one final look at your forecast.
It's Northwoods Furniture's sizzling summer sale going on now. As the summer heats up, so do our sales. Find red-hot store-wide savings at both locations. We have it all. Beautiful furniture and mattresses to fit everyone's comfort and style. Save on select Sealy mattresses, Lazy Boy, and Flex Steel furniture, and more. Enjoy the summer sun, relaxing on quality Amish-built outdoor furniture, all on sale now. Hurry in for best selections. Northwoods Furniture and Mattress in Eagle River, celebrating 15 years in business.
At Mole Lake Casino and Lodge, get great deals at check-in.
Thank you very much.
Great deals at the Players Club. Great times in the lounge with your friends when you're ready to party. And specials all week long at the Cafe Newman, like our Friday night Fit for a King fish fry.
It's great to be the king.
Mole Lake Casino and Lodge, where everyone is treated like a king.
Medicare beneficiaries learn how the Aging and Disability Resource Center of Oneida County may be able to help lower the cost of your Medicare premiums and deductibles. Through the Medicare Improvement for Patients and Providers Act, the Aging and Disability Resource Center is available to help educate beneficiaries about the low-income subsidy program for Medicare Part D, Medicare savings programs, and Medicare preventive services. Call the Aging and Disability Resource Center of Oneida County or visit online for more information.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
It's time to amp up the fun at your local Ford dealer. The summer supercharged sales event is here. So stop by your Ford dealer today and check out great offers on select Ford vehicles. Then discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Choose Flex Buy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% APR financing for 66 months.
Huge equipment auction, Eagle River, Wisconsin. John Deere loader, skid steer, Coyote tractors, snowmobiles, trailers, deck boat, zero-turn mower, and more. Contact Brass and St. Louis Auctions for more details.
It's hard to find better cheese curds than these. They are made by the Merrill Optimist Club down at the Lincoln County Fair. If you're at the fair, definitely check out these cheese curds. But, sir, is it going to be good temperatures going forward for
Remember
those
when we
cheese
did that at the fair?
Yeah, we made them.
So much fun and so good. All right, temperature-wise today, okay, so the problem with Friday, we'll be there at the fair, but there are some showers in the forecast tonight, tomorrow, and Friday. Temperatures hanging out in the 70s currently, but there is the rain to the west of us that'll be in here most likely around midnight tonight, and scattered showers in the forecast for us tomorrow as well. In fact, rain is in the forecast into the weekend. Many dry hours too, but we're going to get wet this weekend.
Okay, well, got to do it sometime. To get
I'm hoping to get one dry weekend.
Well, that hasn't happened in a while.
Well, that's all the time we have. We'll see you back here at 10.
That is.
Mr. Food Test Kitchen is brought to you by Golden Carrot Jewelers and Creative Kitchen and Bath Studio.
Earlier this month, I did a segment and mentioned that August was U.S. Farm-Raised Catfish Month. And since then, I've received questions regarding where and how is it farmed. So let me show you. It all starts in beautiful open-air farms like these throughout the South. Before the fish enter the pond, they're raised in nurseries in fresh water. Once they're big enough, they're carefully moved into ponds that are filled with water that is pumped from underground aqua-filtered wells. Then the fish are fed a high-protein pellet that floats on top of the water, which means these beauties